People need to simply prepare themselves for their health care premiums skyrocketing, and the people who should get the blame for it are Donald Trump and Republican House and Senate members. Period. Full stop.
Roland, back in 2009, I worked on Capitol Hill. I worked for Congressman John Dingell, and one of the pieces of policy that I worked on was the Affordable Care Act. What's interesting to point out, the Affordable Care Act, the way it is enacted now, is actually Republican legislation. When I think about when then Governor Mitt Romney in Massachusetts had Romney Care, which also had subsidies payments to make sure that people could have affordable premiums. At the time, there was a lot of fighting in the Democratic caucus because, quite frankly, there was a push led by the late Representative John Conyers to have single payer, i.e. Medicare for all. But instead, the Obama White House decided to negotiate with some of the Democrats on the Hill and negotiate among themselves because, unfortunately, at the time, Republicans refused to show up to the negotiating table. And so what ended up happening is the legislation that we have now. So it's very ironic watching the Republicans say for the last 10 years that they want to repeal and replace Obamacare. In reality, the reason why they haven't presented an alternative is because this is the type of legislation that used to be part of the Republican philosophy. At this point, the alternative to the Affordable Care Act, if you don't like the Affordable Care Act, is single payer, is Medicare for all. So I'm very curious to see if Democrats in the House start pushing and reintroducing a single payer bill.